Yo, what's going on, homies? It's your boy Stumped back for another OPTC video, and in today's video, we're taking a look at the new Verse Super Suga Fest lore in some content, seeing how he rocks, seeing as he rolls over in the 6-man meta. With the new Verse lore comes a reminiscent of the striker-based meta that lore once brought with his V1 variant, and in today's video, we're going to take him into some Kazuna Clash. I did record this before it went away. This is level 30 plus. Against whichever one the strikers were boosted up for. We're going to take him into some Dofi 2, take on his arch nemesis, and then take him into some Grand Voyage over at local Sea Monster as well. But Lore is a striker-based captain, so if you guys are building teams with Lore, you really want to funnel into the striker meta. Now, strikers are very, very good still, but they have fallen off quite a lot since the release of Super Tandem Nami. Obviously, you have a lot of Yamato characters that are strikers. Yamato, for example, is like a prime example of a very powerful striker character. But she's sort of meshed more in towards that sort of slasher sort of meta. So, Lore brings a lot of buffs that work with these powerful characters, like the new Memories of the Straw Hat Nami with Yamato. And he can do some really, really fun stuff. But as a captain, he reduces striker cooldowns by 1 turn and boosts Crew's attack by up to 6 times based on the number of striker characters on the team. Minimum 5 times, and then obviously with a full striker team, you get a 6 times captain ability. He also makes side recovery 10 slots have matching slot effects, allows crew to attain recoveries through perfects, and if you have 4 strikers on the crew, he reduces despair by 10 turns. The despair removal for me is kind of like, I don't know if that's it. I don't know if that's it, Chief. I don't know if that's it. Now, we do use it in Grand Voyage, and it works amazingly for that particular fight. But look, that's based around Cerebrals. Lore's based around Strikers, so you're not really bringing Lore over there anyway. But it's nice that he has some sort of utility in his kit. Like, any utility is better than no utility. It's just that, you know, Despair, like, we have so many side Despair characters late now. Like, it's kind of like, why, you know? But still, like I said, it's better than nothing. The upside to Lore's utility, though, is the monstrous heal he can get in his captain ability. As you guys can see there, if you're below a certain threshold of HP and you use a special, you get a very, very big heal. But we'll come to that. And you can only do this if you have 6 strikers on the crew, and if you have an accumulative value, which is like a the final tap buff of 50% or higher. He'll then boost striker character's attack by 6.5. He adds the following effect based on the crew's HP when your characters use a special. It refers to the HP after the special is launched. If the HP is 70% or more, reduces character's verse effect by 3 and boosts the attack of the next final tap by strikers by 20%. Similar to Yamato, where you can stack this up to 200%, which is very, very strong. And you can do this up to 3 times per quest, I believe. If you drop below 70% HP, you can then heal 50% of your crew's maximum HP and then boost the final tap by 30% for striker characters as well. So the way this kind of works is whenever you use a special, you apply extra final tap damage, which is very good for not only Yamato, who has one of the best final taps in the game, but it also works very, very well with Lore because he is a final tap rush character. So with all these percentages going into the final tap, like rushes hit really, really hard, final taps hit really, really hard, and Lore can stack this consecutively over time if you guys have 6 strikers on the crew. And again, this is actually quite easy to do because strikers do have some very good characters. They just don't have like the biggest class in the world. So that's kind of the downside to strikers. They don't have that many characters at their disposal, but the characters they do have are very, very powerful. Obviously, they, like I said, you got Yamato, you got the Yamato 6+, you got the new Memories of the Straw Hat Nami, you have Super Tandem Nami as well, and then you have a bunch of Whitebeards, and a plethora of other characters that you guys can use as well. But Lore as a captain is pretty strong. 6.5 times captain, as long as you have 6 striker characters on the team, can go very, very hard. Plus, having that ability to just passively apply that 20% as soon as someone uses a special is actually very, very good. And obviously, if you're running 2 Lores, you're getting this twice. So you'll see this happen right now against Monet. I actually use the Lucy special here just because I know I'm going to get it back on the final stage anyway. I may as well use it, and I wanted to start that or showcase that final tap sort of buff and how it works. Because we're over 70% here, as you can see, we use a special, and then Lore's captain ability triggers, and it applies the 20% final tap buff. Now we're sitting at a 40%. It's going to get blown away on the next stage against Virgo anyway, but I just wanted to showcase that's how it works. You don't start with it. You have to use a special, and as soon as you use a special, you see it actually go off. When you're below, what is it? I think it's if you're below 70%, Yeah, so if you're below 70%, you can... Like, sorry, if your HP goes below 70%, and then you use another special again, with 6 strikers, you'll then heal 50% of your crew's maximum HP, and boost the attack with the final tap based for strikers by 30%. Now, this can be activated one time. So, unfortunately, in this content, Virgo gives you a very annoying debuff that drastically lowers your HP and then reduces your healing. I really wanted to showcase it there, but as you guys saw, it did still proc. So now, Law reapplied after using the Nami special. Law reapplied a 30% final tap buff with that. Now, ideally, this would put you above 70% HP, right? Ideally. Then you would use another Law special, or sorry, any special at all, and Law would trigger again, because remember, you can use the 20% stack up to 3 times. So the way they kind of want you to use Law is they want you to utilize his special, or any special, I should say, and then you get the 20% stack, get below 70% HP, use another special, heal yourself back over the 70%, use another special, so that way you get the extra stack, and then maybe you'll go, I don't know, below HP again, and then you use Law's special to heal yourself back up again, but again above 70%, and then you can use it once again. So with Law, obviously being the verse character with Blackbeard, they want you to use specials. That's how you can build up his verse ability. You can use specials to build this up. You need to use 12 of them, or you just need to pass turns. Obviously, you can build his verse ability as well with his captain ability too, so that's really, really nice. But they want you to use specials, and the idea of Law is you use your specials, you get this final tap buff, and you can actually do some captain swap stuff. As you guys saw there, I used the Law special. He'll swap the middle right captain character to captain and give them 20 turns of cooldown. So this is great, because then Law will give you that heal that I spoke about, and then you can get more cooldowns to use another special, so that way you can get that final tap buff. But with this, he also sets defense to 0, which ignores full immunity, which is awesome. And if your crew has an orb buff effect, he boosts attack by 3.25 for 2 turns and applies a overheal on the crew, so going up to 2 times maximum HP. If the crew has the final tap buff, which is very easy to do, as you can see he applies it, he gives a 3.5 times orb boost to strikers for 2 turns and allows this to be increased by 2 times. Boost striker characters' orbs by 3.25 otherwise. And if you've used 7 specials during the run, he's going to extend the duration of orbs by 1 turn and further increase it by 0.3, which will apply to this particular special. If you have 6 striker characters on the crew, he will swap the middle right character to captain, reduce the captain's cooldown by 20 turns, and this can only be activated one turn, and heals 60% of your maximum HP. So that special alone does a lot. Like, it's a lot going on. The downside I did find to this particular character, though, is like they really want you to use 2 Laws. But what you can do is you can run Law as a sub in that middle right slot on a striker team, and you can then swap him into captain, give himself the cooldown, and then use his special again. That way you get both the orb and the attack buff. That's kind of how they want you to use him as a sailor, so that way you get the most out of him to get all of his actual buffs. But on top of the final tap stuff that he does as captain, which he should actually get once he goes into captain, because he uses special, or you can use other characters to use specials, and you can do some fun stuff that way. You get it. Massive attack, massive orbs, final tap buff, healing, overhealing, setting defense to 0, which works great, as you can see against Dofi 2 right here. Plus, then he has Rush, so then his final tap goes absolutely crazy. But what if you don't want that character in the middle right slot to be captain? What happens if you're happy with Law as captain? What happens if you just, I don't know, put a different character there and thought, shit, I don't want this character as my captain? Well, Law's verse ability can actually save you there. Law's verse ability, again, after you pass 12 turns or you use specials, can give you the option to remove the captain swap. So you can say, alright, I'm done with this captain swap, sweet. I'm going to swap back into my captain. And on top of that, he's going to remove 6 turns of paralysis, and he gives you a full border orbs through block orbs for your striker characters. So he's a very unique unit, utilizing this whole captain swap shenaniganry, but also needing your team to use a lot of specials as well. So wrapping up the video, we're going to take on Grand Voyage local sea monster, and this particular fight is a great showcase that you don't really need to have 6 strikers to make Law look really good. Remember, Law is a cerebral character as well, and cerebrals, whilst they're not the best class in the game, they kind of have like a lot of missions, and they have a lot of teams that work great for particular content. Now, Local Sea Monster's been out for a very long time. Obviously, like, this is not a challenging fight, and I guess this is why Law can do it so well. But I did want to take him into a piece of content that was a little bit different, a little bit unique. Obviously, like, we can build a mono cerebral team here. We still have 4 strikers on the team, so we are getting access to his Despair utility. And I thought this would be a great place to actually showcase that utility has use somewhere in the game. So the 10 turns of Despair works fantastic against this fight because you get hit with 10 turns of it, I believe, on the revive against Local Sea Monster. But you did need to find a way to bring 4 striker characters, as well as still bringing a full cerebral team. So the strike characters they did manage to find, obviously Law himself, and then Enel, the Treasure Map Rare Recruit, the Kizuna Rare Recruit Nami, and then Legend V1 Shiroshi Mancherry. Ended up working quite well. I did try some stuff with Cat Viper and Dogstorm, but Cat Viper Dogstorm kind of clashed with their swap ability. I believe you can just run V1 6+ Cat Viper. That's another really good option. But he's not... Oh, actually, no, you can't. He's not cerebral. Ignore me. So Shiroshi Mancherry were pretty much my only option to remove the attack down here. Like I said, I did want to use Cat Dog, but they weren't swapping out of their dual form fast enough to remove the Despair. So it is what it is. But strikers, as mentioned earlier, the big downside to them is they just don't have heaps of units. They have strong units, but they just don't have heaps going for them. And it does make team building with Law very challenging if you do want to get access to all that captain swap, all that final tap shenaniganry. But if your box does satisfy the need for the 6 strikers, you can do a lot of really, really powerful things with this character. He has a lot of really unique buffs, and I do believe he's going to go absolutely ballistic in Super Boss and big damage teams, because if you build the team right and you start getting all of this final tap shenanigans with him and Yamato, you can do some pretty fun stuff. On top of that, he triggers the Yamato EX. He works really well over there on that team, and he's going to be a great addition to not only give you, attack buffs or buffs and final tap buffs, swap into captain. Yamato's giving you the damage reduction. She's giving you color affinity, and then you can just bring other characters to satisfy what else you need. The downside is again, you're going to need to bring 6 striker characters, and to do that might be a little bit challenging. But it was a lot of fun to run him over in this Local Sea Monster fight. It's a lot of fun to run him over in Dofi 2 and Kizuna and stuff like that. But honestly, on paper, like, I really like what this Law's doing, but he's making things so complicated. Like, he's making things very, very challenging, and it just doesn't make all that sense to go through and jump through that many hoops to try and satisfy something when you're not really getting that big of a reward out of it. Like I said, he's very, very good. He's very, very fun, but what you have to do to get him to that point just really isn't worth it in my eyes. But let me know what you guys think of of Law in the comment section below. Do you think he's a fantastic legend? Do you love what they're doing? Do you love this intricate design and continuity? Obviously, with like when Beppo comes out, like, we're gonna have like a triple special unit, which is gonna be great for something like Law. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. While you're down there, belt the like button, hit the subscribe button, do all that good stuff for me. Most importantly, wherever you guys are in this beautiful world, please remember to enjoy the rest of your day. As always, homies, thank you all for watching, and I will catch you all in the next one.